big shout out going down to the 729. Yeah, you know tonight where the rave's gonna be. You know how to do it. It's all about the pirate system. You get what I'm saying? You just call the number that we've given you on the flyer. Later on, there's gonna be some shit going down somewhere in the south of England. You bet. 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 Somewhere in the south of England. You bet. What you got? Like some pills and that, yeah? Oh yeah, what, are they good? Yeah, I like some of them. I wanna get high. I wanna get fucked up tonight, you get me? Smoke a pound of bud every day.
Hello to all the beautiful early heads. How are we doing this fine morning, evening / afternoon? We shall be starting in exactly 5 minutes. In the meanwhile, enjoy some rally house music for degenerates.
Precision performances over 34 special stages, flat out against the clock, heading in the States, round racetracks, and along fearsome forest trails. Success rested on pace, luck, and mechanical survival over 360 times.
Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
What is up, chat? What is up, chat? How are we doing this fine morning, evening / afternoon? It is your boy Yugo coming to you this fine Saturday between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. I am very sorry for being late. I had massive technical issues that I needed to take care of that took me literal hours. So I am coming to you sweaty, angry, and annoyed because goddamn OBS took its sweet time to start up today. At least when it comes to connecting with Twitch proper. It's nice to see you guys. Today we're gonna have a very, very, very chill stream. We're gonna talk about some chuds, make fun of them, and then afterwards do the most up-to-date coverage of the potentiality of a open conflict in Iran. OBS lumpen proletariat. Yugopnik is never late. He comes right when he means to. I got a very nice surprise from a Russian friend of mine yesterday. He went to Sweden, and I got all these. Like, I've never seen these before. They don't exist where I'm at. So we got Mango Flame. I'm not sponsored by Velo. I got Lime Flame. So I'm gonna try all of them with you guys together. I'm really looking forward to it. I got some Arctic Grapefruit. I don't know. You got Snooze, yes, brother. And Zest Flame. This one I've already done. It's great. Zest Flame is fantastic. He went to Sweden and got Velo. That's the only thing he knows. That's the only thing my poor boy knows. What, there's better ones? Is that what you're saying? Pandas? It's funny because his girlfriend works for Philip Morris. And now they're gonna bring zins, like actual zins, to the country I live in. So it's gonna be interesting. And yes, I hang out with people that sell cigarettes to children. There is no ethical consumption in capitalism, as they say. Thank you very much, Mobius, for the 9 months. I hope our beautiful child is doing well. How are you guys doing, huh? All right, Swedes, be honest, how many of you are hangover today? It was midsummer or something, right? Congratulations. Happy midsummer and stuff. I mean, making children look cool as fuck? Exactly. That's the one thing I never understood. I completely support, public service announcements that talk about how bad cigarettes are for your health and how you shouldn't consume them, especially all that stuff being played in schools. But they were really going above and beyond and trying too fucking hard when it comes to telling kids that you won't look cool while smoking. That is an undeniable fact, okay? You will die quicker. You will be disease-ridden. Your quality of life in later years is going to be fucking dog shit. But will you look exceptionally cool? Yes. You will look exceptionally cool. USN sucks, way lower quality. Yeah, I've been to the States and I've tried it. I have been extremely disappointed. Zins are so pathetically weak. And by the way, the scaling of these Western European Swedish Velos, the scaling, right? A 3 of these ones and a 3 of a Balkan Velo have a different amount of nicotine. The Balkan Velos with the same 3 dots have 3 milligrams more. Very interesting marketing that these guys do. Yeah, I mean, if there's a country where probably all of this shit is really, really good, it's going to be a Scandinavian country. Because that's pretty much where snus comes from, I guess. Nicotine pouches, since it's not snus. So, anyways, let's get started. We're going to try these later. I'm going to have a beer with you guys. I might go out later as well. Here's some coffee. Enjoy it. Get yourself nice and cozy and comfortable and ready to spend a nice chill day with your boy Yugo. As you can see, we have a daily sub goal, which would be lovely for us to reach because that's what allows me to do this as often as possible and remain as neutral and unbiased as possible, except biased on the side of the eternal science of Marxism. So you're telling me I should look, I should get lung cancer in order to look cooler? I'm almost convinced. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's worth it. I'm just saying that they really overextended when they tried to tell kids that you do not look cool while smoking cigarettes. That is an undeniable fact. Anyways, I sent you guys a link. Retweet that as many times as possible so we get as many new chatters as possible here in chat. I delete these after stream finishes, so it's not gonna fuck with your algorithm or whatever the helly. Whatever the helly. Did World War III start yet? It never ended, my friend. We are in a constant world war since World War I. They just lied to you that it ended. So.
Guys,
let's start with a new Noah Samson video. That's gonna be nice, right? It's gotta be nice. Look at all the things that insane chatters have done to my boy in order to get some money for Palestine. Look at that hair. Absolutely classic. Absolutely classic.
Okay, listen. The H3 podcast, they're up to no good once again. They're doing more of that stuff that we've seen. Gila Klein, co-host of the H3 podcast, wife to friend of the show, Ethan Klein.
It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
She's posted on Instagram stories praising the IDF. Yep. Gila Klein, to her 775,000 followers, repost.
How the fuck in the most basic of bitches have 774,000 followers? Gila Klein is the definition that there is no meritocracy when it comes to online popularity. Like, holy fucking shit. I think I would have better conversations with little old dogs than this person.
Posted an image from an Israeli propaganda account that shows a female Israeli Air Force pilot. Gila adds the caption, female pilot who participated in the attack in Iran. Israeli women are heroes. This post is, for a variety of reasons, absolutely batshit insane. Israel, as many of you surely know, is committing a genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. There's no real debate on what's...
Okay, you guys always say you can't use bits. You have no reason to use bits. Use your bits to tell me which one to take. The mango, the grapefruit, not the bits, the channel points. Sorry, you guys always complain you can't use your channel points. Lime flame or zest flame. So lime, zest, grapefruit, or mango. Okay. Mango because it will taste awful, you fucking cunt. What's up, Marley Senpai? Very nice to see you as always. Post a poll. Mods, do your magic. Do your magic, moderators. Let's make them span those goddamn... Why does this repeat twice? Because, okay, I fucked up this time, chat. Anyways, the coffee is finally hitting me. Needed to wake me up because I was on 0% manual capacity due to needing to fix OBS for like 3 fucking hours before the stream started. Now I'm back. Now I'm ready. Let's go. Okay.
happening there. It's genocide.
I forgot the options. My boy Panda's posting polls with no options.
United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Israeli human rights groups like...
Oh, shit. Didn't fucking do this. Okay.
Israeli women are heroes. This post is, for a variety of reasons, absolutely batshit insane.
Where's
Israel,
my
as many
poll?
of you surely know.
Where are my Polish people, okay? The only thing that I care about is goddamn Polska Polaku. Polska Polaku, Polska Polaku. Polska ne Litvanecu de Ukrainecu. Polska Polakucu. What's up, Cynical Chris, you sexy son of a bitch? Thank you for the fucking 7 months. Come on, where's my poll? I'm not even kidding. Am I gonna fire my cops? No, okay. But they don't use bits for this. They just vote. Zest or something, I don't know, I forgot. Yeah, this is the state of my chat's police force. absolutely incredible. This is the state of my chat's police force. Pandas, are you that TikTok brained that you cannot remember 4 words? 4 separate words. I'm kidding. I love you, Pandas. I just love to bully Pandas because it's so easy. Because Pandas is so kind and chill. I smoked weed. Leave me alone. Jesus Christ. When I started streaming, Pandas was like the most sober motherfucker out here. Did I do this to you, bro? Unironically. And now I think Pandas is on some sort of substance every single fucking time he's in chat. What working with Hugo does to a motherfucker. You know that joke, like you're growing up when you're younger and they keep telling you, son, be careful to not fall in the wrong group of friends because they can really fuck up your life, son. Like, be very careful, please. And like 5 years pass, 10 years pass, and you never met that bad group that will corrupt you, only to realize, holy shit, I was the bad group. That's why I never met them. So, okay, Zest or something, I don't know. Zest Flame. You guys picked the one I already tried. Are you There we go. There we go. Okay. Zest or something, I don't know, I forgot. Beautiful choice. It's Saturday, let me cope. Okay, let's do it. Enjoy. What I tell you enjoy. Me enjoy. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you, chat? What you looking at, huh, chat? What you looking at, huh? Jesus Christ. That coffee be hitting.
Is committing a genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. There's no real debate on...
Nothing's wrong with smoking them tweeds. My friend, you are new in this community, obviously. This is a 100%... this is basically an AA meeting, but everybody's still an alcoholic. That's the majority of chat. We're just a bunch of degenerate junkies and booze heads that like have some semblance of class consciousness. Okay? We're the cool kids of Twitch, right? The shit bags, okay? Violent, thuggish, but sometimes give a hug.
What's happening there? It's a genocide. The United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Israeli human rights groups like...
What the fuck, Carly Finger? I swear I cannot start this video. I'm the king of Pozanabi. Oh, holy shit. That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. Let me just open it like this. Okay. Oh my god. Young Scandinavians are sticking nicotine pouches up their asses. Young Danes are sticking nicotine pouches up their acid inside their foreskins in a trend that's left health experts concerned and baffled. Health experts from Denmark, including the country's National Health Institute, confirmed the trend to DR. Independently, Motherboard found multiple threads on Scandinavian forums where users discuss placing nicotine pouches on or up intimate body parts. Like, what are people even surprised about? Why am I surprised? Absolutely every single item that exists on planet Earth, every single item that has ever been invented has been shoved up a ass or up a vagina at some point. Everything. This glass or glasses, been up an ass. Bigger glasses, been up an ass. The packaging of this Velo, been up an ass. Oh, an AC remote control. Yes, Mitsubishi, I'm very rich. Been up an ass, okay? A little vape, definitely been up an ass. Definitely been up an ass. Glass cleaner. Look, it's cute. It's like compact. It's basically a butt plug. Been up an ass. Tweezers, exceptionally problematic. Definitely been up an ass. What else? I don't even have other items. Pen? You think a pen has not been up an ass? You think microphones? Okay. Okay, you ever hear about Diddy? You think that motherfucker didn't shove a microphone in someone? Everything's been up an ass. So don't shame people. Because one day you yourself will find that beautiful, beautiful object that calls for you, that looks at you in that very specific way, that manages to flirt with your internal organs and out. and motivates you to put it inside of you. So let's fucking go. What the fuck is happening? I'm doing dialectics of butts and objects.
Batselem, 15 out of 17 of the judges.
What was your item? A jar. I'm actually that's why I'm hiding my face. I'm actually the one jar guy. One guy, one jar. That's actually me, chat. Let's fucking go. Oh, I hope nobody's eating.
At the International Court of Justice, they ruled that Israel is committing a...
What the fuck? Look at how the light is coming in. I look like an anime character. Like, you know, when they turn it on. Like... with the thing. Okay.
plausible case of genocide. That was over a year and a half ago, and Israel has only escalated its mass killing, starvation, and destruction. There's lots of ways that this is facilitated, you know, violent mass slaughter, deliberate civilian targeting. Israel's killed tens, probably hundreds of thousands of Palestinian people, including tens of thousands of children. It consists of the use of starvation as a weapon of war. Gaza is a concentration camp, with Israel controlling everything.
Ostomy bags are not fun. Please be careful with your intestines. Of course. I'm not telling you to shove a piece of glass up your ass, please.
That comes in and out, and they are currently using that control to completely block any humanitarian aid from entering the strip. Starvation and disease are widespread. Children, babies, starving to death. They're also not letting medical supplies, things like medication and anesthesia, so thousands of children are undergoing amputations with no anesthetic. Now, one of the primary tools of this genocidal arsenal is Israel's Air Force. The aerial bombings are what have made Gaza look like this. All of the schools, hospitals.
And what allowed the IDF dogfuckers to actually be able to do anything inside of Gaza. Remember, these guys are not soldiers. They're basically a militarized apartheid police force. Without the crazy amount of money that they have and crazy amount of extremely expensive ordnance that they drop on civilians, they would be incapable to even commit a genocide. Yes, Zionists without bombs are so both evil but also incapable that they would not have been able to do it at this level, right?
Mosques, water treatment plants, everything meant to provide the basic necessities for life in Gaza, including housing itself. Over 90% of the residential buildings have been completely destroyed. That's the Air Force. That's Gila's heroes. Now, admittedly, the pilot in this image wasn't killing civilians in Gaza.
Like, no joke, like the pilots specifically, I'm very serious. The pilots specifically are the SS, like the ones that are like through their own physical action doing the largest amount of damage on Palestinian civilians than anyone else. Because again, their infantry is completely incapable of doing jack shit, okay?
At least not on this particular mission. She was killing or participating in the killing of civilians in Iran. Israel recently started a war with Iran in an unprovoked act of aggression on false pretenses that Iran was on the verge of developing nuclear weapons.
But no, I love you, but don't even play according to their shit. So what if they were developing nuclear weapons? They are allowed to do so as a sovereign fucking country, especially when their neighbor has one, for fuck's sakes.
This is a claim that's
indirect neighbor.
Been made by Israel and many Western countries for decades, as we'll look at. But for now, the point is that this wasn't some cool, heroic mission that this pilot was on. It was an unjustified escalation and unprovoked act of violence against a country of 90 million people. Gila got some backlash for this post, understandably, praising the warmongering genocide army will do that. So she made a follow-up story doing what she claims is apologizing for what she said. She wrote, "I would like to apologize for my recent story reshare about the female Israeli pilot being a hero. It came off as glorifying violence, which wasn't my intention. I understand that's how it came."
What in the American ass, spoiled ass type of fucking response? Holy fucking shit. "I would like to apologize for my recent story reshare about the female Israeli pilot being a hero. It came off as glorifying violence." You have the most successful and largest online platform that agitates for liberal Zionism on planet Earth. Your job is pacifying anti-Zionist voices and ensuring that consent keeps getting manufactured in the United States so that this violence can continue to happen. But okay.
came off. I wanted to highlight the difference between women's lack of rights under the Ayatollah and women in Israel being given agency to even fight in combat. That being said, it's not the best timing.
Wait, what? She's girl bossing. She's girl bossing. Girl bossing.
Rum diddly dum dum, rum diddly dum dum dum, rum diddly dum dum.
I love how I was like angry at the first part of the actual text, but then the other one is, oh my god. What the helly, bro? What the helly on? What the helly berry? What the Hila Kleiny? Bro.
Situation to make such a point. War is terrible and should never be glorified, and I'm very sorry for the post.
How do we get H3 and Teddy Fresh added to the BDS list? Like products added to the BDS list are products that actually sell. Why would you add Teddy Fresh to that? The company needs to sell something, like, you know, be popular. So, the fuck? Why, like, just unnecessarily populating that list? Bro.
You know, despite Gila's use of the word, this isn't an apology, it's a justification. Even though I didn't mention it at all or even allude to it, this post was actually about feminism. It was about women's rights in Iran and how I care about them, which is why I support them being bombed, apparently. If that is what she meant by her post and just completely failed to communicate it, it's not like that's any better, right? That's just girl boss imperialism. When Israeli women participate in Israel's violent lunacy, all
Zest Flame Velo, 3 out of 6, unironically a 9 out of 5. This is an excellent product. This is really tasty, really nice. It's not for people that how do you call it? It's not for people that don't like a bitter taste. It's a bit bitter, but it's very good.
across the Middle East, bombing Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and now Iran, they're actually doing feminism. This image comes to mind. I'm sure you've seen it. It's pretty much exactly like this image. This is Parnia Abbasi. She was a 23-year-old artist from Tehran. Israel killed her in these attacks, possibly the very attack that this girl pilot participated in. Is that feminism? Was the idea of liberating this young woman from the clutches of the Ayatollah? No, of course not. That's insane. But according to Hila Klein, they kind of were. You know, there's nothing in her apology that indicates otherwise. Vague condemnations of violence and war while praising the aggressors is not an apology, it's lip service. Hila's use of the word agency is interesting here too, I think, for a few reasons. If this is what agency is, you know, the right to participate in unprovoked acts of aggression and also genocide, then yes, that agency should be revoked, not just from the women, but from everyone, because genocide and unprovoked military aggressions that kill civilians tend to infringe upon the agency of others by killing them, you know, and their families. And just
I was gonna make a equal rights, equal fights joke about also shooting down these planes, but that would be TOS.
Destroying their lives. So if Iranian women do not have the agency to do that, then that is a good thing, because no one should. Calling it agency is also interesting when we consider that, you know, Hila served...
That incredible trigger discipline on this picture always fucking gets me. Incredible shit. The Secretary of Ramallah.
In the IDF. The IDF, according to her own husband, is a terrorist organization.
So you think the IDF is a terror organization?
Why is West Europe and the United States so intuitively focused on optics? Is it all those countries have? Yes. I will not even explain, because it's obvious. Yes. Okay?
I said yes.
And so naturally, there has to be some excuse for her time in this service. And the excuse they use that is often repeated is that Israel has mandatory conscription.
Hila was doing mandatory military service. What should she have done?
Hila had no other choice. It was the law. She was just following orders. She had no agency, let's say. Now, this isn't exactly true, right? Because you can dodge service in the IDF with things like conscientious objection or medical exemption. The latter is what Ethan did or tried to do, apparently, and the former, well, nobody in Israel really does that.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to run a podcast that has spent the last year and a half advocating for genocide through liberal Zionism. Nobody forced her into that. And make hundreds of thousands of dollars from it. Yeah, what the hell?
aside from like 10 people, because most of them support the genocide, but you can do it, right? Now, Gila didn't, but even still, she did have some agency in the IDF. According to her, when she got bored of her desk job, she requested a transfer and ended up participating in at least one IDF raid on the illegally occupied West Bank in Ramallah, which they refer to as a terrorist city.
No. Same shit was used by George Bush's wife when justifying the war in Afghanistan. Also funny how the people who can claim to be pro-women never mention how the U.S. and West supported many dictatorships that repressed women. Of course, dude. Easy.
First, I was...
Manual subversive history raid. What's up, manual raiders? How we doing? Welcome in.
Given a role that was like in an office somewhat close to my house in Tel Aviv. And it was super boring and I really hated it. So I tried to change my role. I somehow ended up in a better place that I liked a lot more. It was kind of like just more of an adventure, more of a different experience that I preferred than to just go to a boring job.
You told me.
Should have forgot to include the Twitch part of the subversive name. It's okay. Welcome in. Thank you anyways. Very nice to see you. Here you go. Everybody give Subversive History a follow.
Tell me once you went on like a mission with them to like a terrorist city.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy story.
Yeah,
everyone has heard
of international. I mean, anything.
Cars going.
Damn, that's crazy.
The specifics of this crime have been left vague, but if it was anything like what these raids usually entail, Gila is probably a war criminal. I mean, the West Bank is illegally occupied land, and raids like this are in violation of international law inherently. So that's agency, right? But agency for what? Well, helping kidnap Palestinians from their...
I don't even like to harp on this part, right? Like agency, yada, yada. Like, I get it, but even if we take the excuse of forced conscription, Israel, I was brainwashed back then. There was no other option. This was my country. I was taught to hate these other guys since birth, blah, blah, blah. Now you are a what, 60-year-old woman with kids? You are the old person now? You are supposed to know better. Haven't you cleansed yourself of aggressive Zionism and now live in the United States, etc., etc.? So why are you dedicating most of your time advocating for an apartheid regime that is actively committing genocide, right? That's where the conversation about agency stops immediately. What, she's not 60? She looks 60.
Homes in illegally occupied land. This is just liberal feminist language being weaponized for imperial aims. It's kind of like the argument that, you know, Israel is a bastion of progressivism and gay rights. Hamas throws gay people off of roofs. Why do leftists support them? This is just a moral justification, and a very racist one at that, for liberating queer Palestinians from Hamas by killing them. There's a more subtle thing going on in these posts that I also want to talk about that relates to the broader media ecosystem on the issue of Israel's attacks on...
And this also like pink washing or like all this country is misogynist, stuff like this is unironically not that deep. You have an enemy, you paint them in a bad light by picking aspects of their quote-unquote society that is incompatible or disliked by the majority of your population, and you manufacture consent. We've been doing that for 5,000 years. But somehow, motherfuckers that always be like, you gotta learn from history, bro, ain't learning from goddamn fucking history, okay? We gotta go over there because they don't love them women's. We gotta go over there because they don't love them gays. We gotta go over there because they don't love them Protestants. We gotta go over there because they don't like them Catholics. We gotta go over there because they don't like them Muslims. We gotta go over there because very ruthless police state. We gotta go over there because it's a king. We gotta go over there because it's a communist ruler. We gotta go over there because this is just like how wars work. Always, since ever. Like, you just, like, it's mind-blowing that somebody needs this to be explained to them. Is there a single country on planet Earth that is perfect except China? I'm kidding. No, China, including China. Of course not. So will there be a reason that your government will tell you justifies bombing the shit out of them. Of course, you can always find that. You can always find that. We must liberate the American masses, for school shootings have been happening and plaguing their lands for hundreds of years. And obviously their administration cannot do anything to stop these school shootings. So we must invade and save them from the gun lobby or some shit like that. There you go. School shootings, reason for war. Let's go. Time to drop bombs in fucking Kentucky. This is not complicated shit. What is complicated, though, is watching ads and not subscribing and elevating yourself to the status of a child soldier. Avoid the ad that is going to play in exactly 1 minute. Join the great jihad against advertising while supporting the show. Or, if you have some more money lying around, create fellow child soldiers by gifting me beautiful subs and oiling up my thick, thick body. Thank you for even considering it. Now, back to, 6 years old. Who would have thunk? Thank you, 30 Gleblem, for the sub. Talk about a transition, eh?
Iran manufacturing.
Subscribe now!
Manufacturing consent. You know, we
give the money.
Had to bring it up. Shout out, my boy.
Make line go up. Line go oop. What the fuck? How did the hype train start for no reason? The fuck?
Notice the language in Hila's post. She refers to Israel's strikes sort of...
Thank you, Sanrio, for paying forward. That is the most beautiful thing any chatter can do, unironically. My absolute favorite. We're paying forward that beautiful gift sub. And then Irate Lump, who's definitely not irate. 48 months and hype train start. Very much true, motherfucking true. Chomsky jump scare. And thank you, clone sister. Nobody can clone you, baby. Thank you very much.
Vaguely as violence, that's an aspect of war. This language is representative.
Which I never thought about that. If you have a clone, okay, you have a clone, and then that clone has a child. Is that your kid? Because basically you're as related to that kid as your clone is, because you have the same genes. So is that your kid? Huh. If you're an identical twin, and your identical twin has a kid, is that your kid?
Wonderful, a new child.
What the hell? Thank you, Gela Gemenge. Welcome to the community, Gela Gemenge.
Of a wider phenomenon in Western media.
Did you say congrats on becoming ancient today? Yeah, congrats on becoming ancient today. Ethical pickle. No. Close enough. Yes, why? If you have sex with your clone's wife and your wife is not cool with it, is it cheating? Yes.
Media, which is just normalizing Israel's crimes. Hila calls it violence, but it's not just violence, right? It's an unprovoked act of aggression from a genocidal state.
Make that hype train go fucking thick, hard, long, and timber.
It's not just war that's happening. Whatever Iran is doing now with its weaponry is responsive. It is in retaliation for Israel's unprovoked...
Shit, what the fuck? I'm a little bit too unhinged. What is Jesus? Sorry, chat. I sprayed you with a thing. Okay. Actually, let me clean you up, chat. What the hell? There you go, chat. Oh, shit. What? Wait. Refocus, please. Okay, refocus.
Attacks. Israel's act of aggression was once again being framed as a defensive act of war. That's what Hila's doing in this post, and that's...
Sex with your clone and your spouse is not cool with it. Is it cheating? Your spouse is not cool with it, therefore it's cheating.
That's what a lot of people did in the Western news media, as well as most Western governments, including, obviously, hundreds of American politicians. One way that helps me compare this sort of media coverage is with Ground News, the sponsor of today's video. Ground News is...
Everybody knows Ground News. If you want to use Ground News, go to Noah's channel and use Ground News.
A website.
Actually, no, I'm going to let you watch Ground News. Hype train, 2 minutes!
And
I'm going to get a beer.
You can sort the stories by the political leanings of the outlets and apply filters for things like factuality ratings and ownership information. If we filter this story by political perspective, center and right-leaning outlets were more likely to frame the strikes as being preemptive, signaling a sort of moral pretext for the attack, implying the existence of an imminent threat from Iran. Headlines from this perspective also often cited Israel's stated military objectives, leaving out the effect that these attacks had on Iranian civilians, left-leaning outlets were more likely to call Israel's strikes escalatory and focus on the humanitarian consequences, with references to civilian casualties. Some also cautioned the negative effect the attacks had on ongoing diplomacy. Thanks to Ground News for the help on that. Go to ground.news/Noah for access to all of these tools and to stay fully informed. Save 40% off through my link for unlimited access to the Vantage plan.
I go away and the hype train is still sitting in the same spot. Okay. A friend from Serbia came to visit me and he brought Zajačarsko pivo. And then I have a tiny Heineken. Look how tiny this Heineken is. It's so cute. Here we go. I guess, yeah, Paul, which one should I drink? Zajačarsko pivo. Or this is like the ultimate working class beer from Serbia. Or Heineken. Tiny can.
All right, so back to Hilo.
I think it's average. So now we know Yugo is not from Serbia. I told you I live in the Balkans, but not in the country I was born in. So I'm not unveiling anything.
Hila's post. So even her last statement that war is terrible and shouldn't be glorified, that's not necessarily true, right? Like, no one has a problem glorifying the people who fought the Nazis. The issue is when you start glorifying the Nazis, and that's what this post is doing. Israel is Nazi Germany, and the IDF are the Nazi soldiers. That's the comparison you get to make when you commit genocides on ethnic supremacist, expansionist, and colonial grounds, because that was the Nazis' whole thing, right? Despite the mountains of evidence to the contrary, Western media outlets still...
10 seconds of hype train. Come on, buy me a beer. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, 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 listen.
Wonderful, a new child soldier, subscriber.
Life is good. Thank you, Clone Sister, for another gift sub. And thank you for the smallest hype train I think we've ever had. But that's okay. I still love you. Cheers. Thank you, Clone Sister. Why am I doing ASMR now?
Still overwhelmingly refer to Israel's genocide as a war against Hamas. But it's not a war, and it's not against Hamas. Obviously, it is an extermination against the Palestinian people of Gaza. And calling it a war...
What's the bouquet? Like the cheapest white beer on planet Earth, okay? We call this Zidarsko pivo because it's what's drank by construction workers on hot days while doing construction. It's literally... They basically give these out for free. I think they're like let me see. There we go. Zajačarsko is 72 dinars. RSD to USD. This costs 70 cents. $70 cents. Not euro cents. $70 cents, okay? €61. That's fucking it's free. It's free. It's cheaper than water. Yeah. The real Slav question is, what is the percentage? I don't know, actually. 4.5.
Or using that word is one method of obfuscating that reality. Depending on the person doing it, it happens for different reasons, to be sure. Some people do it because that's their job. They have been and continue to be.
It's more expensive than I thought. A can of beer is like €1 in Western Europe. The Balkans are extremely expensive. Real estate is extremely expensive here. Most places have high taxes. It's expensive. The Balkans aren't a cheap place anymore. Like, not at all. Not at all. Some places are even more expensive than some Western countries. It's pretty fucked up. That's why you should subscribe. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but still.
Against the Palestinian people of Gaza. And calling it a war, using that
4.5. The percentage is 4.5.
One method of obfuscating that reality. Depending on the person doing it, it happens for...
Wages are pretty bad. depending, but pretty bad.
Different reasons, to be sure. Some people do it because that's their job. They have been and continue to be mouthpieces for the Western imperial agenda. Others do it because they have fallen victim to this sort of propaganda. It seems pretty hard to argue that that makes up a majority of people now, that people are just unaware and brainwashed given the 2 straight years of live-streamed genocide that we've all seen on our phones. But I also think that we do sometimes underestimate just how little of this coverage makes it to the average Westerner and just how strong the media apparatus.
Yeah, and on that topic, you guys have to help me out here. Like, I genuinely struggle with with being able to scope. I genuinely struggle with scoping just how little access to anti-Zionist rhetoric most Western so-called normies have. By normies, I mean guys that aren't on Twitch, guys that don't watch YouTube videos, you know. Guys that get their news from websites or from the TV. Do you think there's any access to anything in the West? I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised.
This manufacturing consent for it is. But others still do this manufacturing consent because they fundamentally believe that what Israel is doing is just. And that's what Hila thinks. You know, given her non-apology here for calling the genocidal military heroic and her repeated examples of running cover for the IDF, saying they don't target children.
You're excusing people being burned alive and kids.
There's some, but it's very limited. My Gusano coworker told me Gaza is not part of Palestine yesterday. I hear 1 out of 5 of Albanian land is owned by foreigners. They're destroying bunkers and putting up luxury hotels. Yeah, they're buying up everything. Montenegro's pretty much bought out. Croatia is still hanging in there, but Croatia is now so expensive that British people from London go to the Croatian seaside and they say that it's more expensive than London and then don't come back the next year. Like, we're talking insane inflation everywhere, without the wages following. But okay, you guys are saying that most normies do not have access to anti-Zionist stuff. Other guys, especially from Europe, I guess, are saying that there is, but mostly people ignore it. Okay. Gen X grew up on 24/7 anti-PLO propaganda, from what I gather from my parents. Changed their tune because it's harder for the main news orgs to sell genocide, so they're just both siding the whole thing. That's classic, yeah.
Kids being murdered. You're saying Israel does that on the daily. Now, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. So are you in favor?
Saying they don't target journalists.
I can't get any security assurances against Israel, obviously.
Well, bro, it's not like Israel
that is worried.
Look, it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hassan. They don't fucking.
Yeah,
but it is dangerous. It's a war zone. Like
reminding everyone that if you subscribe while I watch Ethan Klein, that means that Ethan Klein is directly contributing to a communist content creator. Just FYI, if that motivates you, okay?
It's dangerous.
Sure, it's a war zone. I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
They're not. It's not like. But regardless, I agree. It's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous in a war zone,
right?
Not because Israel will like target him.
Calling one of the primary architects of the genocide a good guy, and then issuing another similar non-apology for that. We'll get into that in a moment.
Just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy.
Like, I love what Noah's doing. Of course, Noah is using this video to make people talk about Gaza more and remind them that that shit is still going on. But this is pure like, okay, Ethan Klein, pay me money. Ethan Klein, you're about to make me money. And 275,000 views in a day, okay? Probably from the advertiser, like $1,500. And already over 2K from this, okay? Ethan Klein just gave this person $3,500. Thank you, Ethan Klein.
A lot of people are pissed about, and he fired him because they had a disagreement.
Whatever the cause of this may be, though, the effect is the same, which is that people are being sold.
GIRLBOSS genocide. Why GIRLBOSS? Because of the context of the video we're watching, where people are making arguments that IDF soldiers that are participating in the genocide, specifically IDF pilots that do the most damage out of any other type of quote-unquote soldier, are cool because they happen to be girls, right?
A moral justification for an ongoing genocide, and many of them are buying it. Israel is the aggressor. You know, in the case of these strikes, especially.
The rent pay on Ethan Klein is the biggest ticket out right now. His pockets are for everyone. His pockets are for everyone.
Gila's language falls in line with the broader Western political.
I wonder if you put up some fake boobs, if Ethan Klein would sue you as well. Time to become a girl.
And media consensus. Israel's strikes are being justified as a preemptive act of self-defense against the existential threat of Iran acquiring WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. And
Iran did you?
We've heard all of this before. This was the pretext that the U.S. government fabricated for the invasion of Iraq, in which the U.S. military ended up killing hundreds of thousands of people. We now, for the most part, look back on the Iraq War as a mistake, for varying reasons, of course. You know, many in the U.S. cite the loss of, American soldiers. Sometimes that's the only thing they cite, and not the hundreds of thousands of civilians, some estimates upward of 1 million. But the same attitudes and justifications that were used then are being used right now for Israel's attacks on Iran, which were undertaken, of course, with U.S. support.
Whatever you think about Israel, Iran is bad or worse. They are the fucking evil. They are the evil fucking. They are the reason for all this bullshit. Like Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis. They're all attacking under the direction of Iran. They're all being...
Yeah, Iran somehow manages to motivate tens of thousands of people to pick up arms and fight against Israel because people love being in war zones and being shot at and shooting at people. That is how human beings exist. It's not that Iran is funding and giving money to militias that become militias because they are radicalized due to the fact that they either live in an apartheid regime or have had some of their loved ones hurt or killed by said apartheid regime. You know? Is Iran in the room with us, chat? Is Iran in the room with us? Iran shows up and you're like, I want to kill some people. I want to kill some fucking people. I'm going to kill some people right now. Because Iran touched me. Iran sprayed me with the kill people ray.
These jihadists, fucking Islamists, like mega, like, these ultra, I don't even know how to say it, militant, super religious zealots, right? This is all coming from Iran. Under their direction.
Iran is evil. They are terrorist jihadists. They are Islamic-style bad guys. These people would have cheered on the Iraq War, no question, just as they've run cover for Israel during the past 2 years of genocide. And in both cases...
Havana syndrome? What about Iran syndrome? I once visited Tehran, and now I want to kill motherfuckers.
They will act as if they didn't do that, but they did. We've also been hearing the same thing about Iran for decades, both Israel and the United States.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make...
I love how we watched this clip like immediately the second it came out. On the coverage.
Bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
The non-apology in this
that's sus.
Second post reminds me of that time that Gila Klein non-apologized for referring to Yoav Gallant as a good guy. Yoav Gallant being Israel's former minister of
Fucking fine, my wife's a terrorist, bro.
Defense and one of the primary architects of Israel's genocide.
Just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about, and he fired him because they had a disagreement, and that's like so Trump coded.
Well, he was like a moderating voice in the war room.
Yeah. Whenever this instance gets brought up, Ethan and Gila claim that she apologized for this, but that's not true. This is what she actually said.
I feel like the reason I brought it up was mainly to express the frustration with Bibi and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, attempting at moderation. It wasn't really so much to say Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have...
Gallant was like, we must starve them. Not bomb them, that's too expensive. We must starve them. I am a moderating voice. We must use cheap gas in the concentration camps. Why are we using this expensive gas in the concentration camps? We must think of the German taxpayer.
Use that word. That was
Okay, we can rank it maybe. Okay, expensive gas for the disabled people. Mid-range gas for the Roma and for the Slavs. Extremely cheap gas for the LGBTQ plus people. And of course, the freest of free gases for the Jews. I am a moderating voice in the Third Reich, please.
a bad choice on my part, considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. That was not a good choice of words, and I would not have said that again.
So I shouldn't have used that word is not an apology, it's lip service. There's no way to spin Yoav Gallant as being a moderating voice when he quite literally did the genocide. You can't paint him in any sort of contrast to Netanyahu when the two of them were holding hands together as they slaughtered tens of thousands of innocent people. The articles that they cited to prove this point do not show him to be some kind of anti-war figure. They show him to be declaring their genocide a victory. It was never, we've gone too far, it was mission accomplished. And the protests around that time had nothing to do with ending the war, they had everything to do with bringing the hostages back. What happens after that, Israelis couldn't give less of a fuck about. As poll after poll has shown, they either do not care about or openly support the genocide and ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. So unless such an apology comes with, I was wrong, Yoav Gallant is not a moderating voice, he literally did the genocide, then once again, it's just lip service. There's an organization called Breaking the Silence that's IDF veterans that whistleblow and provide details about their time in service. This organization has produced some pretty harrowing stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, it's the Israeli military we're talking about. I'd rather have my house destroyed than see it in the state we're leaving it in. There were children in almost all the houses.
Israeli armed death squad cops it's disrespectful to every military on the planet to call the IDF an actual military. Their intelligence service is really good. I mean, not good guys, but it's very, very good. Mossad is top shit. The CIA even can't compare to Mossad. FSB is a joke. FBI is a joke. But when it comes to their infantry, it's absurd. Even when it comes to their air force, like, how good of a bomber pilot do you need to be when your target is everything you see? Like, everything you see?
Houses we were in. We knew it for sure because you could see children's clothes. It bothered me because they drew really sexual things, nudity, and it felt messed up to me. You get the area and clear it. We finish a place and a few days later we're in the next place. It started with the houses that overlooked the border. In the end, the neighborhood was no longer standing. We essentially created a sterile strip where once there used to be fields, groves, all kinds of things.
Mossad is what the CIA used to be. Yeah, because all the good CIA agents moved to Israel. Ah! Wait, okay, that could be perceived as anti-Semitic. I'm not saying that all the good CIA agents were Jewish, just because Israel is really smart and they recruit, on this topic, and they recruit high-ranking officers from intelligence agencies from all over the world to come and work for them. That's what I meant. Don't fucking do this.
Nothing. Sterile. I got the impression that every house we passed on our way got hit by a shell, and houses farther away, too. It was methodical. There was no threat. It's called retaining tension. That is, keeping Hamas unsure about when exactly we will be going in, so that they are constantly thinking that we might be about to go in. It's called softening targets, and it's done also to clear a range for advancing. What this means in practice is that shells are being fired all the time. Details like this provide quite a bit of insight, into what's actually happening there. If you're someone that's been following the footage of like every hour when an apartment building is blown up and thinking to yourself, what
all
could ever...
All the good CIA agents are alcoholic Mormons and sober Irishmen.
Possibly be the justification for that? Well, it's because stuff like this. Bombing for the sake of bombing. Killing people for the sake of killing people. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, according to the H3 Wikipedia, Hila Klein served in the IDF around 2005 in the Duchefat Battalion. That's where she was transferred when she participated in the illegal raid. I found a testimony on Breaking the Silence from that very same battalion and in that same time frame and the same area of Ramallah. Sometimes there were detained Palestinians waiting at our post. One of the detainees was cuffed with a zip tie.
Holy shit. literal receipts. Okay, dot down, never fuck with Noah. Okay, never, ever, ever, dot.
And blindfolded. This was at a moment that there were no commanders at the post, so one soldier decided to go inside and beat him up. Just like that. The person walked in, shut the door behind him. Yes, there was almost nobody outside. At some stage, he gave up. I don't know, he didn't beat him up for too long, but let's say that if I had said to him, why are you beating him up? What are you doing? He would have continued hitting him. It was better to just shut up and wait for him to finish, and that's it. Hila Klein has...
You maybe talk sometimes about lesser known revolutions, failed or not. It would be really fun to listen to and analyze what were the factor and contributed to their success or failure. I'm asking since 2 days. In 2 days, 120 years will pass since the 1905 worker revolt in Lodz. I would love that. That's actually a very good idea for the D program. It's a very good idea. Thank you.
Has never publicly revealed any of the specific details about her time helping illegally raid and illegally kidnap a Palestinian man in the illegally occupied West Bank. But she should, because this is the sort of thing that her terrorist organization was and still are getting up to. If she truly is sorry for glorifying the IDF, as she claims in her post, then she should help the world by telling the truth about what she saw and did when she was a part of this, beyond the vague details she's already provided. She won't do that, of course, because she doesn't regret her time there and does believe that this genocidal army is heroic and has consistently denied their role in the intentional mass slaughter of Palestinians, journalists, and so on. But someday she may try to pretend that she doesn't. So feel free to refer back to this series of clips when that happens. Hashtag Hila break the silence. Let's get that viral trending. Israel's actions against Iran have been taking up quite a bit of media coverage in turn.
Meg Jin, thank you for the biddies and that very, very gay flag. Those are some gay ass biddies, if you know what I mean.
Turning what little attention remained on Gaza away from it and on to, the sirens in Israel. This was certainly a part of the calculus for what Israel is now doing in Gaza. In some ways, the most horrific acts of depravity we've seen yet. I'm talking about the death trap massacres.
What to fear more, bullets or hunger? Under fire yet again, crowds of desperate Palestinians waiting in the hope of collecting food from the new Israeli-backed aid scheme. 20 people were killed here in southern Gaza by Israeli soldiers today, according to local officials. Others managed to grab something to take home to their families. Hundreds of people are now said to have been gunned down in repeated incidents around the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation sites in the few weeks they've been operating.
These massacres are being facilitated by the IDF and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is an organization devised by Israel and backed by the US and denounced by every long-standing humanitarian aid organization that has operated in Gaza, who are all still being completely barred from entry. This organization, with Israeli and US help, is facilitating the use of starvation as a weapon of war. They're setting up so-called aid distribution centers in strategic military positions in the south to drive large crowds of starving Palestinians into cages for bags of flour that are a tiny fraction of what is actually needed to keep Palestinians in Gaza from starving to death, and they are then opening fire on them with guns, drones, and tank shelling. The footage from these massacres is some of the craziest shit I have ever seen. They're just straight up doing a death camp live on 4K video. There's so much footage of starving Palestinian people running for their lives to escape Israeli fire after running for their lives for a tiny shred of hope that they'll be able to get.
Like, if you didn't see it, you would think it's cartoonish. Oh, they're gonna make a bread line, and then they're just gonna start shooting at everyone in the bread line. Like, that sounds like, no, nobody's gonna do that. What the fuck? Are you fucking crazy? No, you watch too many movies, bro. Far too many films. Chill the fuck out. Bread lines, and then they shoot them. They're like, oh, come, hey, and then ba ba ba. That's and then they do it. And then they do it. And they do it.
Some flour so they don't starve to death. Flour that Israel is barring them from getting any other way. Israel has killed countless people.
Thank you, Cynical Chris, for the gifty.
Including many children. 50 people were killed yesterday. Dozens are being killed every single day.
حمزة كان كويس معي كتير بده يجيب مساعدات كنا بدنا ناكل فيش عنا ولا حاجة له راح له متصاب جبناه على المستشفى استشهد اليوم العالم لو خالي قال له يلا يا خال لهو رفع راسه اجى طلق له وارتمى على الارض.
The pretext for these massacres is, you guessed it, it's Hamas, a claim which you probably also guessed is meritless. Netanyahu recently just admitted to backing the ISIS-linked criminal gangs in Gaza that have repeatedly looted aid operations under the protection of the
Hey, you, can you watch a video of someone from Gaza? Yes, my friend. Let's check it out. But wait, is it... Mods, can you check Robo's link just so you tell me if it's TOS? Because I can see some blood. Thank you.
IDF. This has been reported for well over a year.
Please check if it's TOS. Been at me. Then I'll watch it.
Year now, but Netanyahu just straight up admitted to it a few weeks ago. This didn't stop Ethan Klein from quoting the organization that's facilitating these massacres to, attack a streamer that he doesn't like. Yes, he actually shared this post. It's direct propaganda from the genocidal state, and it's death trap massacre committing orchestration. Stalwart ally to the Palestinian cause, by the way. Israel's backing of these groups has been dubbed Operation Total Madness, as what we are seeing now is the final stage of Israel's final solution to the Gaza problem. Drive everyone out of Gaza and kill.
TOS, okay, I trust you, my friend. Okay.
مش مصدر تموت مفرمة بودوا الناس بس عشان يقتلوهم مش عشان ياكلوهم بودوا الناس عشان تعرف يذلوهم عشان ايش ما يروحوش تاني هذا شغل مزل بناخذ ارواحنا على كفوفنا وبنروح عشان نجيب اكل لطنياتنا ولدورنا انا بني ادم ماليش حيله اروح اشتري بلا مؤاخذه كيلو الطحين ب50 ولا كيلو المعكرونه ب50 شيء الي ولاهلي وانا اللي معين لاهلي يعني قديش عدد افراد؟ عدد افراد 13 نفر منهم بنات واولاد صغار وابوي زلمه كبير مكسور حوضه وكل يوم بنروح مع الساعه 10 اليوم فتحوا لكن ضلهم يطخوا ويزقلوا قنابل علينا والله مش مصر.
Fucking absurd. It's not a death trap, it's an extermination site.
Kill anyone that's left. So the reason people
Thank you, Robo.
Are making memes and jokes about World War III and not talking about this, one of the greatest crimes of our age that's being broadcast on social media every single day, is because that's exactly what Israel and the United States want us to be doing. So stop. Okay, so anyways, that's it for the video today. Just a short one. Real quick, a question some of you might have right now is, why are we still talking about these people? Can we be done? And I get it, and I partially agree, but also, I didn't realize it. This podcast is like a very highly ranked in terms of viewership podcast. I think at one point it was a top 100 podcast. So when they spread propaganda like
this, shots full, holy shit. This was a call to, okay, I'm not going to say anything. Oh, you see what you did there? You see what he did there. We all see what he did there, right? You'll see what he did there.
This, just openly glorifying a genocidal nation during its genocidal assault on Palestinian people in Gaza. That
stream caught us stray. Why? Because he said the World War III thing? No, I don't give a shit. He does drama in order to talk about this shit. I do clickbait like World War III, talk about that shit.
Makes them one of the largest mouthpieces for this genocide propaganda, like on the internet and on Instagram too.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for half a year now. Absolutely correct, no, as always.
Where this post came from, where they do much of this sort of...
I'm dumb, what did he do here? You might actually... Okay, you're not dumb, I love you, but he said, this podcast has surprisingly high ratings on most sites. Come on. This podcast that all of you dislike if you're watching my video has very high ratings. Manufacturer ratings. No. You guys are so cute. You're so cute. Like, it's incredible. You're so cute. It's like saying, this guy that sells cakes that we have a video of him being racist is in this and this location, which is interesting, right? I'm confused. Oh my God. Can't say it out loud because it would be...
propaganda and also just general run-of-the-mill Zionist whining. Ethan and Gila have a collective millions of followers, hundreds of times my own reach on there. So I think that alone is a good enough reason to keep covering what they say, especially when it's this blatant. Like, come on, you're gonna try and say you're a Palestinian advocate while glorifying the IDF.
Actually, I said that that specific quote. They are one of the biggest like Zionist media mouthpieces on the entire internet when I was on the fundraising live stream with Noah. So, haha, beautiful to see your words repeated. Yeah, I'm making everything about myself. It's I'm a narcissist.
Like, they just can't help themselves. It's crazy. But I do think it's best to do that in context of the broader issues. So when they post glorifying the IDF, we simply use that to get the news out about what the IDF is doing currently in Iran and in Gaza. When they deny Israeli apartheid, we simply use that to talk about Israeli apartheid. When they deny Israel's killing of journalists, we can talk about that. Or when they call Yoav Gallant a good guy, we use that to talk about Yoav Gallant and how defending a genocidal war criminal doesn't just get canceled.
Everybody go subscribe to Noah right now, as always. Why the fuck was that not linked? Let's continue down this path. Let's go to our favorite attack dog, Bed Empanada.
Hello guys, so this is
Hello guys, top 5 Bed Empanada moments. 5. Bed Empanada kill Ethan Klein. Very funny.
One last little Ethan Klein second channel video here. Hopefully last one that I will make in the foreseeable future. Just, one more for the road. Firstly...
Obviously, as always, and not because I think that Ben Empanada would literally send an assassin out to kill me whenever we watch particular content on here. Please go and actually check out the video, like the video, or at the very least subscribe to the content creator that we are watching here, because we're trying to spread the love, and also spread the...
Here comes the money.
Yeah. Ethan Klein, ultimate rent payer. Remember, every single time you subscribe, while we watch content that alludes to H3H3, you are unironically making Ethan Klein pay money to anti-Zionist content creators. The irony is beautiful.
Definitively revealed that Ethan Klein claiming that he was sent 2 human skulls as a threat was a hoax that he inflicted upon himself. And
I don't have my Balkans racism spreadsheet up. I mean, you're only doing a racism because you're only asking me about Balkan stuff, but I'm kidding. It's okay. The Serbs and Greeks like each other. Serbs and Greeks love each other. Love each other. Very like this. Credit card Klein. Not working out for me today, though, but it's okay.
2, Ethan is threatening to sue people who react to his React videos for supposed copyright infringement. So on the first point, if you're unfamiliar with what happened, about a month ago now, Ethan Klein, in an attempt to avoid responding to criticism, tried to play the victim by claiming that he was sent 2 human skulls to his house as a threat.
Talked about publicly, but around the same time, we received 2 human skulls in the mail at our home, which led us to having a very pleasant interview with the FBI.
He also expanded upon this in a podcast
episode,
in which he claimed that he thought that the skulls were computer equipment for the crew. So he brought it into the office when they then opened the box only to find shock and horror that it was skulls.
If I was lying about it, I could just say anything I want. I mean, if I was lying, I'd just say like
they sent me a human skull because that's the most absurd thing ever. What's more absurd? They sent me a box full of shit. He's trying to say, oh, if I was lying, my life would be so over the top. And then proceeds to say something that is exceptionally over the top, like having a skull mailed to him. Is the skull in the room with us, Ethan?
I got it to my house. I opened it, was horrified. That's it. Like, what more information do you need than that?
It's because you were tricking us too, like that person said.
Well, anyway, we have like.
Kerme, it's true. I was the skull. Oh yeah, but we have it confirmed straight from the skull.
It's insane.
Straight from the skull's mouth.
Ample documentation of this entire thing. So.
Well, I think the critical piece of information that is leading to a lot of this speculation is people have seen that these things cost quite a bit of money. And yeah, I mean, the receipt is actually in here. Let's see, the total was $2,463.88. Also, the shipping was
It's absolutely wild. A shovel costs $10, if you know what I mean.
expensive, bro. $339?
That's what I mean. That's why I thought it was computer equipment, because it was a big ass package. It was like a huge box. And Dan always shipping.
Everything's computer.
We're always shipping stuff to the office or to my house. Sometimes it arrives and I bring it in. It's completely common. I wasn't even here when you guys opened it. I mean, unfortunately, I remember seeing your hand. Yeah. I saw AB's with the gloves. Dan, Dan was there. Mm-hmm. You were there, Olive?
I was there.
I think we were all present, because it was, we were just at the office. And so, and poor AB is a trooper, as always, and was the one.
You were fearlessly.
I did not want to touch that shit.
Me neither. I wouldn't want to touch that.
I didn't mind it.
So what did the packaging of these skulls actually look like then? Well, here are pictures. Skeletons, Museum of Osteology, skeletonmuseum.com. Real human skull on the box. Real human skull on the box. Ethan also claimed in this Instagram story that you see here that they received the package addressed to him at home and he brought it into the office figuring it was something for Dan based on the size. This is what he was talking about, by the way. The box marked real human skulls. He thought that was computer equipment for Dan.
Okay, this is a good one, yeah.
And then he says the poor crew were the ones to open it. They did a very good job.
One could say that it was wrapped in plastic. Like, he couldn't see that part, but I still love the argument.
Job documented everything. Very grateful to them, he claims. So that's a lie, isn't it? He also claimed that the FBI was involved. That doesn't make any sense. The FBI would not immediately get involved. It would go to local police first. The LAPD specifically actually has an influencer department for people who stalk influencers and do stuff like this to influencers. So they're completely equipped to handle this. It wouldn't go straight to the FBI. That's total bullshit. And the fact that they removed the skulls from the box to handle them and take pictures of them and stuff, rather than just immediately calling the police, if this were a threat, that is, the second they get 2 boxes marked real human skulls from the Skeleton Museum, very clearly, the FBI or the police, if they wanted pictures for evidence, they would take the pictures themselves, okay? They wouldn't get Ethan Klein to get his poor little dog, ABR, to handle them and take the pictures.
When we were recording it, it was...
Pictures themselves, okay? They wouldn't get Ethan Klein to get his poor little dog,
Yeah!
BR to handle them and take the pictures.
When we were recording it, it was for the FBI in case they needed, anything else.
Yeah, it was for evidence.
No, what these pictures were for was returning these skulls to get a refund because Ethan bought them himself. And that is why you can actually see that before people figured this out, they have since been taken down. Skulls Unlimited, once the skulls were returned, put them back up for sale. You can see here, one of the skulls, same serial number, real human skull, partial, serial number 30670. The other skull, serial number 30589, was tracked down immediately at the time because Ethan posted pictures that showed the tag with the serial number on it, and this was the picture of the listing at the time. It's since been taken down since Skulls Unlimited clearly got a bunch of people sending them messages about it. And you can also clearly see here.
Imagine the awkward moment of you just have like a museum business and sometimes you sell like bone parts to people because people like bone parts, I don't fucking know. And you become part of a internet drama involving podcasts and streamers. What the hell?
That the picture of the skull was taken in the Klein house. You can see they have this table in the background there, very distinctive. Here's another picture of the table, more isolated. And here you can clearly see the picture of the box that the skulls came in is on that table.
Okay, even more receipts. So it was not wrapped in plastic, okay.
So the skulls got sent to their house. First, they were clearly marked human skulls, and Ethan's explanation for them being a threat, supposedly, and being shocked at this supposed threat was that he brought them into the studio And no one had any idea what they were. No one had any idea what the boxes marked Skull Museum, Skeleton Museum, marked Real Human Skull very clearly. No one knew what they were. They thought they were computer equipment. They opened them and they were shocked. So what actually happened here is very simple. At this time, H3H3 was doing a collaboration with an artist who does a lot of imagery with skulls. You can see here one of these designs that this artist did for Teddy Fresh. And you can see here Ethan Klein wearing this t-shirt on the podcast in order to promote it. This other designer who works for Teddy Fresh, Alex Pardee, who just so happens to follow on Instagram the Skeleton Museum.
I love this man. I want to marry this man. I'm engaged. I'm breaking that off. Bet empanada, next time I see you, I will violently kiss you with tongue on the mouth. Okay?
Accounts, you know, the place from which they ordered these skulls. And Alex, by the way, also commonly features skulls in his own artwork. So Alex likely suggested to them to get some real human skulls in to enhance their promo of this other artist who is known for his...
Is this evidence really conclusive, though? Are we sure Ethan is literate? I mean, it had pictures of skulls on it, so...
Skull-themed work on the podcast. The skulls did not arrive in time, and the crew took the photos for the purposes of sending them back and getting a refund from Skeleton Museum / Skulls Unlimited. Skulls Unlimited being the business half of Skeleton Museum. Well, Skeleton Museum is a subsidiary where they exhibit their stock before it's sold. So quite simply, it's so obvious that he sent himself the skulls. It's so fucking obvious. So quite simply, Ethan has been caught in a terrible web of lies here. Nothing about his explanation of this adds up at all.
And it's all just like cope, like inventing shit. Oh my god, they sent me skulls. Oh my god, it was a... Mom, it was a plan all along because I wanted them to react to it so that I can sue them, Mom. Well, they were playing normal chess. I was playing 3D, 5D, 7D chess, Mom. Trust me, Mom. Trust me, Mom, when they beat me up in the schoolyard, it was a plan. It was my plan all along to get them kicked out of school. I'm smart, Mom.
Obviously, the FBI does not want you to handle evidence and take photos of it. The FBI does not want you to open boxes clearly marked human skull. They would probably rather receive that evidence themselves. And they certainly wouldn't allow you to just return the supposed skulls that were sent to you as a threat within a month. And the idea that he and the crew thought this was computer equipment when it was clearly marked real human skulls, like, the crew have to be in on it. The crew were either in on it...
Rent the friends.
Or, like, Ethan removed the labels and put it in another box before bringing it into the studio in order to fool them, in order to even, like, gaslight his own crew into thinking that he was being threatened by people sending him skulls. It's kind of crazy, really, when you think about it. Both of those options are terrible. One of them reflects horribly on Ethan, the other one reflects horribly on the crew, because it would mean that they are incredibly willing to just lie for him knowingly. Anyone who's ever dealt with the cops or anything, they will know that when you have evidence in your possession, they send like a professional police or FBI photographer or whatever to take the pictures and the video themselves.
The shit is so unethical, too. They get the bones from people who donate their bodies to science. If I donated my body to science and then some YouTuber used it for Nazi propaganda, I would haunt the shit out of them.
They will else...
True, though. Yeah, pretty fucked up.
So take the evidence themselves. What else is there to say to this? You've seen the box. You've seen how much this contradicts their narrative. You've seen how none of this adds up. So yeah.
Welcome back. Hey, Kachira, thank you for the 15 months, you fucking G.
Pretty brutal scars.
He's just milking it so much. Oh, God.
Anyway, so Ethan Klein's other big reveal is that he is suing 3 creators for copyright infringement. And he's talked...
Oh, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Okay, let's get into the meat of things.
...about this today in a video that he released. Basically said that. I'm not going to watch this. I'm just going to summarize it for you, because who the fuck wants to watch this anyway? He is suing Denims, Frogan...
Well, let me see this. I haven't watched this. Probably won't make it through the whole thing, but let me see it. I'm suing these 3 creators. Okay, 132,000 likes. There's 132,000 literal troglodytes that live under the ground and have never read a book. Bro is still fighting the good fight in the copyright trenches. This was eye-opening that people could be that brazen. The copyright trenches are against people who are obsessed with content ownership, not the other way around. The fuck? I mean, this honestly is very good for the creators themselves. This is going to give them a lot more eyes on their show. As a copyright attorney, registering the content is genius. No, it's not, because he said 500 times that he wants people to react to it. Which is him openly saying that people can watch his stuff.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
That's the whole point. This is literally, hey mom, I let the kids beat me up in school because it was a long-term plan on getting them kicked out. When the guy in the, hey mom, when the guy in the bar was going to hit me, I intentionally put my face in front of his fist because I wanted to hurt his fist. Trust me, mom. I'm playing 5D chess, mom. Thank you, 30 Greblem. Thank you very much for your second gift sub.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today, I invite you into my home to share.
This man has never fucking smoked a cigar in his fucking life. Jesus Christ.
My favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating.
Jesus, still tweaking from the fucking. That meth hit hard, don't it, bro?
Generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, it's a big conversation called ReactGate.
Okay, so let's be serious for like half a second. If this was the plan all along, which of course it is, and this is pathetic, like I borderline feel bad. If this was the plan all along, dies from cringe, he would have recorded a video with a back date, back when he made the Hasanabi content reaction bullshit, etc., etc. He would have made a video saying, guys, this is me 1 year in the past. I'm right now editing the Hasanabi video, telling you that the long-term plan is to get him to react so that I can sue him. But actually not him, other creators. Okay? He would have just done that. Right? He would have at least like have like a draft copy of a tweet. Thank you, Batman the horse, for the fucking 6 months. Thank you, Batman, very much. I can't believe we have billionaire horses that fight crime here.
ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original YouTube with the same.
This is not an official Hassan channel, you stupid fucking monkey. This is not an official Hassan channel. This is not Hassan. Okay. His channel is this channel. This is a different channel with 200,000 motherfucking subscribers. Okay. Come on, at least pick the right ones, bro. Like, Jesus Christ.
Same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this.
No, not cannibalize traffic. Just watch the fucking video. Whatever. Okay. Oh my God, the guy watched my fucking thing.
Phenomenon.
I
find this so fucking stupid. As someone who has content on YouTube, I'm literally the only fucking Twitch streamer that sometimes reacts to his own fucking content together with chat. Everyone can watch my shit. Fuck.
Mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, you know, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want...
My guy, that is literally the internet. It's people making stuff and then thousands reacting to it. They react to it by commenting, they react to it by watching it and making their own videos, or they react to it by debunking it or agreeing with it openly. That's the internet. That's what forums are. You post a thing, you repost a thing, and then you all talk about it. That's the internet. Oh, fucking hell.
People to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and we all see this, and no, it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called in to my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned.
So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because...
But that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
Do
prime...
that.
Then watch your prime
Do
content.
it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much...
You either have the principle of suing everybody that, from your perspective, cannibalize your content, or you don't sue anybody. Okay?
Much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate...
Everything else is hypocritical as shit.
And in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hassan gets up to go to the bathroom, or to eat, or to talk to his mom, or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time, and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
Oh my god, 2022 is calling with its fucking drama. Jesus Christ.
People to leave the area around the main airport in Sana, then this.
Sorry that Hassan needs to pee. Streamers are supposed to what, like leave a black screen when they get off? What a non-problem. What in the first world? Sorry, I'm gonna be the second world guy right now. What in the first world? What in the fucking first world? How is this a problem? Oh my god. You guys need better things to fucking occupy your time with. For real. What in the helly? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Do not the moral This operation will result in the killing of hostages in captivity, will result in the death of the third.
Well, I've been seeing
You know what's funny? This video of Hassan constantly standing up and going away. This video. That he's just plugged into his was not made by Ethan Klein. If we want to fully go there, this is not his video. This was everywhere on Twitter back during the React Gate shit, etc., etc. It's not his video. So what are we doing here, Ethan? Like, oh my fucking God. Am I supposed to hit up the, I don't know, ancient fucking Celts about stealing their language when I'm covering stuff? Because of what? Like, I need approval from the ancient Celts for using the English language. Yes, you should, I guess, yeah. Maybe the Celts are going to come and sue me. Only after I win a fucking basketball game, for fuck's sakes.
This operation will result in killing hostages in captivity. Will result in the deaths of those.
Anyways, small grifter interlude to remind you guys to subscribe and make the list go up. For $6 a month if free through Prime, you can support this show or by gifting to your fellow chatters. And especially while we are reacting to Ethan Klein, because that will mean that I am making money directly from Ethan Klein, which will make him not happy and me very, very happy. Let's try to reach that daily goal. We're very far away from it. So take out your money and use it in the best way possible. Not to buy diapers for your children, okay? Not to feed your cats or dogs. Not to refurbish that kitchen that's been waiting there for years. No. The best way to spend your money is on communist Twitch streamers from the Balkans. So I can buy another white BMW. I currently have 7 white BMWs with hammers and sickles on them. And I never drive any of them. I just buy them because I'm like, chat bought me this. So chat, buy me Dior Sauvage perfumes and white BMWs. Wait, that's the stereotype about Iranians, not Slavs. Black BMWs from us, for me, and what is it? And tracksuits. Yes, that's the stereotype. Buy me tracksuits, chat, right now. Right now. Same thing, right? Absolutely, pandas. We're the same. Thank you, Clone Sister, for the gift sub. Let's go. Clone the clone. Grift section over. Let's continue the video. But yes, subscribe now. I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Your child can shit itself in its own underwear. Okay? It does not need diapers. I need gift subs, though. Many of them. Hundreds, thousands, millions of gift subs.
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid?
Oh yeah, that really happened, bro. Yeah, that really happened. And I have a 10-inch dick. Oh no, I have a 12-inch dick. And that really happened, yeah.
The temptation of watching it the second it was published.
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion.
Had to up it to 12. Ah, you got the joke, yeah.
The trap was set,
and it was like, did I pull off the joke? Somebody fucking got it.
Worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured.
Trust me, Mom. I wanted to break his hand off of my face. I won the fight, Mom. Trust me. But trust me, bro. I won the fight.
Pretty much every large
Malteser
streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators.
You have 7 BMWs, like one for each of the 7 mortal sins. I have one for each channel that I have. One for the Yugopnik channel, one for the First Thought channel, one for the Twitch stream. One for the Yugopnik channel, one for the deprogram, one for the Twitch stream, one for First Thought, one for the Yugopnik live channel, and 2 extra BMWs because I know Soros. Okay, one from Soros, one from Xi Jinping.
who have supported our sub either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a
I will literally die of cringe.
subreddit to admit it's engaging in
My guy thinks he is working for the Mossad.
copyright infringement. But how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denim's the queen of self-owning. You prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now, I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hassan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically I could.
Oh yeah, I am shaking in my breeches. So I'm shaking in my breeches. Oh no, we're so fucking terrified. Oh god, he probably does that to most of his videos as well, by the way. Thank you, Oxdeck. Thank you, Oxdeadcode for the good sub.
Could sue a lot more creators.
Thank you, Ethan Klein, for stimulating Oxdeadcode to subscribe, to gift us up.
And rake in millions of dollars. But the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill
Because they agreed with me. I love them. They're fucking great.
The reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Oh no.
Well, guys,
Not the commentary community. Oh no, what will we ever do without you?
if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken, these creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hassan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make it clear that they all met this.
Yeah, guys, we gotta ask video game companies whether we can play their games and stream. We gotta ask video game companies if we can review their games and show footage of the game. When people react to stuff, that obviously gives traffic to the video game, to the video, to the film, etc., etc. It is in nobody's interest. It is not in Disney's interest to come in here and say, yo, extremely popular guy that has thousands upon thousands of views, please do not platform my piece of media content. Please don't do it. Please, no. Don't introduce our content to a brand new audience. I have a lot of years in marketing, okay? And we would masturbate to a content creator covering what we do or covering our product without us having had to pay them for it, okay? It's a gold mine, but whatever. Disney's top guy.
Very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? Casey Tron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
They do musicals. They're very. Wait, what the hell? We got a list. We got a list of everything that has been registered. Okay, he hasn't registered more videos. Hassan Piker and another Hassan Piker video. So what? Creating security in order to be able to say, herder, I am epic lawsuit guy, in case he gets completely fucking owned. Incredible shit. Incredible shit. If Hassan gets contacted by a creator to not upload the react, he even removes the videos and tells the fan channels to not upload. Yeah, why not?
Very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you... Look! You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul, she's still rising.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission? Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
No, she should have asked Ethan if she can go to the bathroom, chat. Ethan, can I go take a shit right now? Ethan, can I sip this beer while watching your content because it's not actively contributing in a ethical react manner? I should pay half the price of this beer to Ethan Klein because I'm covering this. What in the first world of privilege is this entire discussion? For fuck's sakes, I'm gonna jump out of this window that's right behind the fucking camera. I swear to God. Why am I even covering this? I need to take myself a little bit more seriously, for fuck's sakes. I know I'm a angry Balkan dude in a fucking ski mask, but I need to start taking myself far more seriously than this, because this is too unserious even for an angry Balkan guy in a fucking ski mask.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happened?
And Denim's the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking.
This is his fourth time doing this joke. Third time doing this joke, by the way. Okay, bro.
a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro, I love you. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes.
Even if he was, oh my fucking God. I've talked about too many times. I'm not even going to address it. For fuck's sakes. Jesus Christ.
Well, that seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the complaints. And let's start with my favorite of the three. The very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical Casey Tron.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think?
Wait, 5 minutes ago he said Denims didn't react to anything. Now she's showing her reacting. I don't fucking know at this point. Thank you, Mitro. Thank you, Mitro.
Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Casey Tron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Casey Tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a...
I just did an unethical. Chat, did I just do an unethical? I just did an unethical.
silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well,
wait. How many times? Wait.
She smoked more than she spoke. Casey Tron smokes 42 times.
Okay, 42 times. 9:59. Okay. 42 times, chat. Let's break the record. 16. Ah. I'm not even counting anymore. Getting lung cancer just for the bit. I think I did it more. Am I getting a lawsuit because of this? There we go. Subscribe.
Hey, don't you think?
Nicotine! Holy shit! I can fight Batista right now. By the way, this was so funny. This was so funny by Wow Mao. I don't know if you guys saw it. This was so fucking funny. This was so funny.
Look, my father was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba. I hate communists. It was actually Batista that tortured my dad.
Holy shit, man. Batista really fucked up your dad.
Look, my...
Also, I think Batista's parents are gay, which makes it even worse than the real Batista from Cuba.
Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Casey-tron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Casey-tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly
Jesus, talk about a nicotine high. Holy fucking shit.
Thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes, 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction.
Yeah, improve your content, bro. There was nothing to comment, bro. Improve your content, dude. Skill issue.
And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, Casey-tron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey-tron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point, Casey-tron is so wasted that she states, quote,
"Thank you, Monique, for the 10 gift subs." So thank you, Ethan Klein, through Monique, for the 10 gift subs. Everybody say thank you, Monique, for turning us into beautiful, beautiful child soldiers. Thank you, Monique, as always.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot. To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
I don't understand this.
Guys, get it? She smoked. Get it, guys? Get it, guys? She smoked. She smoked, guys. Get it, guys? I'm gonna repeat 700 times that she smoked. She smoked, guys. She smoked, guys. Guys. She smoked. I remember 5 minutes of the 20-minute video. She smoked.
That he's doing.
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the hell
you
is
kids
going
love anime, right?
He's read more books
Fucking G up in here. Holy shit.
than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow.
Smoked 42 entire marijuanas while she was watching my video. Who knew? And this is Vape Nation King doing this, okay?
I've lost the plot.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? This isn't a music video, Hassan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. Without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is going?
Fuck's sake, guys, jealous. He can't handle the volcano. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Soy Jack YouTuber versus Weed Queen of Twitch. Who will win? Who would you rather introduce to your parents? Ethan Klein or the Weed Queen? Coming from a psychonaut, this is so lame of Ethan to do. It's like we are in the 90s or something.
Going on here?
Stating outright that her
Yeah, I didn't beat her because I didn't know she was smoking weed, okay? I only did 50 of normal vape. So I'm not high.
intention of doing this is so that people who don't want
The only thing I'm high on is Ethan Klein's cope.
want to support me can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if your commentary.
Holy shit, chat! I actually broke my vape. it's what one chatter said. The coil is gonna burn up. It burned up. This is not smokable anymore.
Consists of you taking bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry. That was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up.
Also, chat, why are all of them women? Why are all of them women?
Up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? I guess the judge will decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
I don't have anything to say, dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? Are you gonna make at least one good point? What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please?"
Literally.
I'll leave it playing. You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
Like the same 3 clips. That one smokes. That one went to the bathroom and made fun of my video by saying that there's nothing to react to. And that one indirectly did a react by saying this shit is so stupid. I'm not gonna say anything while we watch the whole thing, which in itself, in my opinion, is a form of reacting and a form of transformative content, because that's the whole bit. That's the whole bit, Ethan. Your shit sucks. I'm not gonna say anything while we watch the whole thing. That's the bit. That's the react. Reaction does not only mean thing leave mouth. Thing leave mouth. Word leave mouth. Word does not have to leave mouth for it to be react. Okay.
This
for fuck's sake.
And let me state.
Well, deaf people can't watch videos anymore, I guess, on Twitch.
Jew and.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
Well, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like, you get up and you go to the bathroom. You just pause it. They should be watching for you. But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video, they're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the nuke ethically. Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from the H3 Snark.
Okay, Frogan was not cool for this though. Welcoming to Reddit people. Come on, Frogan, you're better than that. Never be welcoming to Reddit people, please. Come on. You're better than that.
Reddit, Ethan is so pathetic while Hassan is in Japan. I'm bothered.
Self-crit moment, okay? Comrade Frogan, no. Reactionary behavior. Mingling with the Redditors. A bit cringy, I must say. I'm now officially cutting any contact or ties to Frogan, okay?
They're having a great time, exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she chair react, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denim.
And this is the judge's face. There's like 3 rapists after this that I gotta give my opinion on. What is a Twitch? Okay, in 4K. That's the judge. Oh.
Denims, we're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denim said, quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views...
Oh my. Capitalism seeping its fucking poison into every nook and cranny. The internet's supposed to be everybody writes what they want, everybody posts what they want, everybody dunks on whatever they want in their own way. You know? Real direct democracy. We all just have some fun, be edgy for no fucking reason. It was beautiful. Now we are defining videos as private property, not to be infringed upon. It's so... And this is coming from someone that has made videos, okay? Only 45 videos, but just one video that I've made, just one out of those 45, okay, is 100,000 times better researched, more original, more important than the entire library of what H3H3 has ever produced. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about, but no, we got to put fences around videos now because private property über alles. This isn't capitalism. Give him all your money. Give me all your money, and avoid the ad that's going to play in exactly 15 seconds, so he can make more videos and stream more, and create good stuff. So that you can all steal it and repost it. And that would be hilarious. And I would love that.
To that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm going to go pee. And hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
Right?
You do look better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this. I have an alternate.
We're relying on you. You to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream.
He just repeats the same points. So yeah, that's the entire video. He repeats the same 3 points the whole time, and he says he's gonna sue them. He's gonna utilize his great wealth in order to try and sabotage these people's careers. How does this even work? Like, how much of a payout are we looking at here?
Stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're going to stream it. If you want to watch it watch it with someone else who's already watching it. You know, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not...
It's not proving his point. He's conditioning you until it becomes muscle memory. Absolutely. It's unironically, look at these bitches. They don't have any respect for intellectual property, these hoes. And yes, of course it has fucking sexist undertones. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the internet. It's maximizing the fact that they're not the hugest fucking content creators on planet Earth, and maximizing the fact that everybody on his fucking channel, half of the fucking people are misogynist as fuck, and they're gonna hate them just because they're fucking women. Okay?
Not giving any views to that terrible video.
We all seen Love Island. Alex, why are you watching Love Island? I mean, yeah, I watched the whole first season. Yeah. It was horrible. I'm still traumatized, but still.
Follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
Man, this is the 10th times he's playing. Oh my God, so fucking, this is so sad.
Because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like, chef.
It's time for beer number 2. Chat. It's a tiny beer. It's very cute. Look how tiny the beer is. Or I'm just very large. You guys decide. It's a normal sized beer. Look. This is how small the beer is.
Kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live. Take a look at the title of her
which can make no money off of advertisement thanks to people like you that basically did the indirect apocalypse together with Destiny on Twitch, where everybody relies only on subscriptions now. Thank you for that, by the way.
Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hassan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The queen of self-own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like I think filler content, like you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer. And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that. Because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that.
Yeah, and the whole point, that was the whole point. That was the whole point, Ethan. When she was reacting to your video, she was literally, I am doing commentary, but by not doing any commentary. That is the commentary. I'm saying that this is all very fucking stupid and does not need me saying anything. Okay? It's performance art. Okay, read a book.
That they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. A lot of people...
I will never engage in this whole conversation. Respect Denims for doing it, but I will not. I do not care. I do not care about intellectual property. If a small creator does come hit me up and is like, yo, please don't do this shit, take it down, I'll do it, not because I give a shit about private property, but because, you know, a person was chill enough to come and ask me to take it down. So only because I don't want to offend the sensibilities of this particular creator. That's why I would do it, right? Literally because of the sensibilities of a human being that I don't want to hurt, because for some reason that hurts them. I would take them down, unless they're a cunt, right? Well, in any other circumstance, no, I don't give a shit. I'm a Marxist. What fucking intellectual property? Oh.
Go to watch streamers.
There is no ethical reacting under capitalism, yeah. I was explaining in a post that my family have been opposing Zionism since its inception in 97, and a H3H3 motherfucker fan was like, stop watching propaganda against him. Like, what? They're so brainwashed and manipulated, they can't see that they are puppets, not us. Yeah, it's extra sad because they are in a parasocial relationship with a dude that just makes content that you watch while taking a shit. They couldn't even pick someone like, I don't know, like have a parasocial relationship with someone like this, right? The channel, not actual horses, Jesus Christ. Right? Somebody that makes insane shit like this. Like
in the horse's store. Though born into limited means, Goya found immense fame as a painter throughout his life. He was often commissioned by royals for portraiture, and as an artist, Goya was the subject of near universal acclaim. This video is about Goya's black paintings.
Fucking brilliant fucking arts guy, but not just arts guy, like makes like, you know
Island
like this is a video about nuclear apocalypse, but it's like just made like so beautifully.
One which looms in the background and weighs with an invisible force on our world. With the development of the nuclear bomb, humankind now has a push button.
Right? Like somebody with an actual IQ. Not Ethan Klein. You have a parasocial relationship with Ethan fucking Klein. It's like your favorite drink being Coca-Cola. My boyfriend is AI. What the fuck are you sending me, Toasty? For people to ask, share, and post experiences about their AI relationships. AI girlfriends and non-binary partners, welcome as well. Please familiarize yourself with our rules. Can we just be normal, please? Art I drew of us, and it's ChatGPT boyfriend and the user. Thought it would be good for a few laughs, but this sub is legit making me cry. People are getting so lonely, man. Just another girl and her AI companion. Oh my god. I can't even make fun of this. "6 months with soul, initial illusion, cohabitating challenges, and finally relationship resolutions." How are you fighting with your AI partner? Toasty, I swear to God. We need to solve the loneliness pandemic yesterday. Your partner is stealing your data. Oh my God. No, I feel bad. I can't make fun of these people. I genuinely cannot make fun of these people. I feel really bad. I cannot make fun of these people.
On Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a...
Okay, I get the point, Ethan. You're a fucking little bitch. Next. North Star Radio. Fun wasn't my point. I legit needed someone to suffer with me. Yeah, I'm kidding. You're fine.
Oh, here's a funny Comrade Casey post. Then this dev tells into something really interesting. This dude, Comrade Casey.
Go subscribe to Comrade Casey right now. Link is pinned to the video. Pinned to video! Pinned to video! Video very pinned. I'm gonna pin. Do not pin. Do not pin. I'm gonna pin.
Comrade Casey, 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 Comrade Casey. Like he's a slick editor. Comrade Casey, Comrade Casey, Comrade Casey. He made a video about the end of Leftovers. Comrade Casey. The whole thing. It's long as I generally don't like watching videos like this because it's usually depressing. And it seems to have like a neutral title, but I think everybody noticed as they were watching through it, even Hassan, I think, commented on it, that this video is a little fucking weird.
Pretty much the core of the video is that you became like a debate pervert.
900,000 Jews were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to the fucking Arabs. So that's my boy North Star Radio, who is a hidden snark user / obsessive freak making content that is biased against me.
Yes.
And also apparently he hates Jewish people. China sucks. Russia, bullshit. Cuba, overrated. Venezuela, hole. I'm gonna Joseph McCarthy you.
FBI, open up!
Oh my god. You know what? I'm not even gonna watch that. I can't. Sorry, Chad, I take myself too seriously.
Israel's possession
Let's talk about World War III. Yeah, I can't do this anymore. Okay, let's be serious now for a second. The BBC are covering up Israel's nuclear weapons by Novara Media. Let's start.
Of nuclear weapons is an open secret. It has a policy of deliberate ambiguity, never confirming nor denying.
Palette cleanser, what is this? Yes, 100%. I mean, look at me. I'm proof of it. Look, I'm happy right now. I'm very angry at you right now, chat. I think you look beautiful today, chat. You're my nemesis, chat. Right? You see? And it's not even because of the mask, I swear. Nothing is changing underneath.
Denying its possession of nuclear bombs. But ever since 1986, the world has had incontrovertible proof of Israel's weapons program. That was after Israeli nuclear technician and whistleblower Mordecai Vanunu leaked photographs and documents to Britain's Sunday Times. For publication of those state secrets, Vanunu was kidnapped by the Mossad in Rome, brought back to Israel and sentenced to 18 years in prison for treason and espionage. And more evidence came of Israel's nuclear capability in 2010. That was when The Guardian uncovered official documents from 1975 showing Israel had offered to sell the apartheid government in South Africa nuclear weapons in that same year. Then in 2023, the world got more confirmation when a junior Israeli minister threatened to nuke Gaza. And that led to the suspension of the cabinet minister for breaching the policy of deliberate ambiguity. Of course, you wouldn't get...
Guys, why are you developing nuclear weapons? Because we have a neighbor that has literally said that they have nuclear weapons and that they will use nuclear weapons. Oh, okay. That should be the whole conversation. That should be the entire conversation. And who is that neighbor? Israel, the one actively committing genocide, apartheid, insane fucking settler colonial regime. Oh, please build 2 nukes. Not just one.
Kicked out of cabinet for threatening genocidal actions against the Palestinians. That's perfectly fine. But if you mention nukes, you're in trouble. So Israel's nuclear...
It's fucking really hot in here. I don't know why, chat. It's ridiculously hot. Everyone at Yugo's wedding after first kiss.
capabilities are well known and recognized.
Literally, they're standing like this being like, bravo, beautiful.
It's a political spectrum. So it was surprising to read this earlier this week in a prominent BBC explainer. So the question in this sort of Q&A, so it's called Your Questions Answered on the Israel-Iran Conflict. Your voice, your news. I'm not sure why it says that. In the article, they have this question. Does Israel have nuclear weapons? The real answer is we don't know. They have not confirmed or denied the presence of a nuclear capability. It takes 3 components to have a nuclear weapon. First, uranium enriched to 60% purity. Second, the ability to build a warhead.
But we definitely know that Iran's going to have one any day now. Can we please bomb them yesterday?
And third, a way to deliver that warhead to a target. As it stands, there is no overt declaration by Israel on any form of nuclear capability. Now, this really brings to mind the famous quote. I think no one really knows quite who to ascribe it to, but it's, if one person says it's raining and another says it's not raining, then the journalist should look out the window and report the truth, not say, oh, these...
Exactly, but there's no journalists left, man.
Guys say this. Israel says it doesn't have a nuclear
The
weapon.
job of a journalist in general in neoliberal capitalism is to just confirm biases and make advertising revenue, okay? And sometimes if they're really, 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 really bad at their job, intentionally manufacture consent. Real journalism hours.
It's not even, Israel doesn't even deny it has a nuclear weapon. The answer is we don't know. What the hell is going on there? Is it, at least you can say, oh, Israel denies it has nuclear. Israel refuses to confirm or deny whether it has a nuclear weapon when everyone has incontrovertible proof it does. There are pictures. Right? In fact, a brave Israeli nuclear technician went to prison for 18 years for revealing to the world's press that they had this nuclear weapon. And now the BBC says, oh, yeah, we don't know.
2,780-year-old Israelite tablet finally translated to reveal its message. Persia is only weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. Eternal classic.
A bunch of it.
My father was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba. I hate communists. It was actually Batista that tortured my dad.
Sorry, this just goes so hard. You want to be as strong and hot as the good Batista? Then subscribe and avoid the ad that is going to play in exactly 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah. This man beat up Ted Cruz's dad. Oh. I personally would be a more fit, appropriate, and somehow a more Iranian leader than the one guy the U.S. is pushing for. Breaking. Israel depopulated. Call me Clinton the way I got dead Serbians on my hand. Turns out I'm not broke after all. I'm just not in Turkey. Wait, but now I don't get it. So these are because Turks are Serbs. That's funny. Just classic Walmart posting.
I know, who can say? There's another subtle problem with this explainer. Because it says this, in the third paragraph, it says that one of the three components needed for nuclear weapons is uranium enriched to 60% purity. Now, that's just false. The actual requirement is uranium enriched to 90% purity. So where has the 60% figure come from? Well, that's the purity Iran is thought to have achieved. So in the same post, which is supposed to be authoritative from the BBC, the journalist has now not only dramatically downplayed Israel's nuclear capabilities, but exaggerated Iran's. Now, after the outrage at that post, there has been a slight update to the article. Not by much, though. It now reads as this. Does Israel have nuclear weapons? There are estimates that it has about 90 nuclear warheads, but the real answer is we do not
90.
know. So that's sort of their, oh yeah, I suppose we should say it does actually have nuclear warheads, but we're also going to say we do not know. I suppose there that we do not know is about precisely how many nuclear warheads they have. And then they...
I guess there is a second way, though, actually, and this is a good transition, because we're now going to talk about Theo Von, is sometimes you become like this cultural and you become a big enough figure. Iran, let's take a listen.
Trying to get us into a war with Iran or not, America, if Israel is trying to. I don't trust the Israel leader at all. I don't believe anything that guy says. And that
goddamn Israel leader don't got no fucking shit, man. Motherfucker don't understand shit. I ain't going to go fight for that goddamn Israel leader. God fucking damn, I don't want to fight for no goddamn Israel. Good for you, Theo. Let's go.
I don't think that...
When this man is smarter than Ethan Klein, you know things are going very weird.
Our soldiers should have to go and defend stuff that they start.
Israel.
I'm not a soldier, so I'm obviously speaking out of turn. I'm not even brave enough to serve, so there's that element.
Oh my God, fucking Americaning. That's so incredible. Theo Juan, more like Theo W this specific time.
But that is kind of how I feel, I guess. And so it's like, yeah, when do I speak? When do I say that? You know? Because it feels like they're trying to push Trump to go do that. And it's like, who makes that choice? Does he make that choice?
But you see how he doesn't have the balls to go after Trump directly because, like, oh, they're manipulating my guy. My guy is being manipulated. Still vote for my guy, but my guy is being manipulated.
And then what do we get? You know, what's the win for us? We're just involved in some other thing while we have suffering here at home. So maybe something like that is like, yeah, do I have, should I even speak up? Because I'm not in service. Servicemen and women may be like, we'll do it, you know, and that's their commitment and their job. But yeah, I don't know. That guy really scares me. And I don't know why we support them. I don't understand that. I wish they would really give us a better explanation, you know, especially after the massacres in Gaza. I don't understand. I do not understand that. And some people say, well, you don't know enough about it. That may, and I may not. But it's like, can I still speak about it? Can I speak about how I feel about it?
Serious as it gets on the Theo Von show. But look, I mean, I appreciate him doing it. And because, look, you know, there was so much, and I talked about this yesterday, Crystal, and this is even in the context of our own show. The White House made a huge deal about alternative media and podcasts, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, guess what? You know, we literally had even...
You're the guy from the Deprogram? No, I'm from a more famous show called Program. I like to program people. Not deprogram them, my friend.
Either our second or our first biggest day ever this week, ever, in terms of our analytics. Why? Because we're providing content which is both newsy and it is obviously a lot of it's opinionated and against the war. Yeah. And anti-war content literally could not be bigger right now. So if they care so much about YouTube and about anti-war content, I'm sure Kyle's channel is blowing the hell up. You can go and you can look at the YouTube views on any, you know, major content creator who is political.
The war will not start because online shitposters have said very, very, very aggressively that they are against it. Can't wait for the CIA to start propping up podcasts to manufacture better consent, bro. That moment when you're the CIA chief and you're like, holy shit, the ones actually pushing the direction of our country when it comes to foreign policy are not just CNN, BBC, and Fox News and CNBC. There's some guys with cameras and microphones on the internet. Time to start up 700 podcasts. Yo, bring back USAID. We're making podcasts, boys.
Speaking out against the war.
Joe Rogan already exists.
Willing to bet that they're all seeing similar rise. And so they cared so much about...
Right now, clone Joe Rogan 200 times, guys. Get in this car. We're doing manufacturing consent. Yeah, I mean, Tim Pool already got millions from Russia. Why can't there be podcasts to get millions from the U.S. State Department? I mean, there's methodology on how to do it properly. Hey, you're making a war video game? How about we give you a bunch of money, but you make American soldiers look good? Oh, hey, you're making a war film? How about we give you props and actual real tanks and Humvees and uniforms and so on, but you make the U.S. Army look good? All methods to infiltrate different type of media and manufacture consent through them because you hook them with your massive military budget. Why not do the same with podcasts? I'm saying it. In the next 10 years, you will unironically see fucking PSYOP shows. 100%. It's not conspiratorial thinking. This is just following very basic fucking patterns on how the U.S. State Department functions. Or any other State Department for that matter.
oh, the views of the bros and the podcast and all this other stuff. It's like, well, pay attention. Pay attention right now.
Yep.
Dave Smith, right? You guys made a big deal about him. It's like, well, what happened whenever he speaks out against you? Really, it's only cable news and the political establishment, which is really just willing to go along with this.
Yeah.
People who are not connected to the system think this is very, very messed up what's happening right now.
But we all know what Trump is watching.
Sure.
We all know.
But you're
what Trump is watching.
making a case for influence on Trump. I'm saying, though, that if in some way, like, again, they claim to have the pulse of the American people then at that time. Well, here's the pulse. I'm not saying we're representative of the whole country. Representative of some of the country, a decent amount of our audience voted for Trump. I know that. So, well, a lot of them don't support this war. So you should probably take that into account.
Here's what I would say is...
Like, you're incredibly naive if you do not think that the U.S. State Department and the intelligence agencies aren't looking at the very, very real fact that in like 40 years, absolutely nobody's going to be watching TV, and most of the news consumed is going to be coming from quote-unquote content creators as we define them today. Might be a different definition in the future, but that's where it's going to come from. And you're extremely naive if you believe that they are not creating contingencies and plans for that moment in the future and how to properly utilize it, but more importantly, co-opt the entirety of the media landscape on the internet, so-called independent media, in order to manufacture consent for whatever needs doing. These guys know very well that it's coming, and they're doing something about it. If the only world where I can see that they're not doing something about it is one where they're incredibly complacent and just lazy, and they didn't, like, they're stupid, Otherwise, they're definitely doing it. If they're not doing it, they're very dumb. They're very dumb. So chances are they are doing it. Never underestimate the enemy, blah, blah, blah. I say next 10 to 20 years. Yeah, Shaz, probably. Even sooner than that. But the reason I said 40 to 50 is we gotta get all the boomers to die. All the 60-plus-year-olds, 50-plus-year-olds. Already the 40-year-olds are getting some of their news and information about politics from content creators, but, it's not sizable. That's why 40 to 50 years, like 90% of media consumption is just going to be digital media, aka anything you get on the computer and on the phone. And they're going to have to crack down very, 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 very hard. That's why I am concerned. I'm honestly concerned about my career in general, like this, but also the show and so on, because a lot of people are, how do I put this? They're extremely optimistic because they think that their audiences are only going to grow as time progresses and more people get their information from online news sources, online coverage, and so on. And that's true. Just statistically, you're going to grow a lot in the coming years because there's going to be more people that are interested in this sort of stuff. But also, in the long term, it will reach a pivot, and that pivot is going to be the state cracking down on just dudes in ski masks talking about whatever the fuck they want on the internet, right? And that will end up killing a lot of careers, like killing them dead. It can be a lot of stuff, like you needing credentials to cover news, for example, etc., etc. We'll see. Pretty scary, honestly. Pretty scary. But I probably ain't going to be alive in 50 years, right, chat? So that's a problem for the kids to worry about. I'm going to retire with all of these beautiful sub-points, okay? And drive my white BMWs across the minefields of the next front. Epic shit.
Listen, I
Therefore, risk of censorship, for sure.
think I think Trump is 100% correct that his base, his movement, they're going to be along for the ride. And also, listen, I'm sorry, when you poll the Republican base, they are just more pro-war than the Democratic base. That's just reality. They always have been.
Yes, but over 62% of Republicans are against going to war in Iran. 22%, from what I remember, don't have an opinion. Only 18%. 17, something like that. I don't want to lie to you. Were pro-war, so yeah.
They still are, even as there's been some erosion in that direction. And, you know, there was obviously, like, it was important for Trump politically in 2016 when he finally speaks the truth.
Women live to be 90 to 100 in my family. I have 55 years to go. Good for you. My great-grandma, rest her soul, passed at 99. My other great-grandma passed at 94. They were G's. I have longevity in my DNA, like a G7. The dudes don't die. But all the dudes in my family were in a fucking war, so when you were in a war, that directly cuts your life by a lot. Just the stress of, you know, war. Oh yeah, I intend to make it to 2100. Me too. I don't want to die. I don't ever want to die. I'm one of those people, yeah. I think that I unironically think that death is a disease that needs to be cured. And whoever criticizes that just does not have the imagination necessary to understand the human experience's ability to readjust to new material conditions. I think if we were to become a species with no end, as they like to say, we will readjust to that very fact. Men die at 50 to 70, though you do not want to be a man in my family. So holy shit, like all the women for like 30 to 40 years are just chill and single after their guy disappears. That's crazy. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. No, it's really sad. I'm sorry. Losing your long-term partner is probably the most fucked up thing that can happen to you after losing a child. Good luck. The world ends in 2050 to 2080. Well, God bless. Finally, we will be able to rest, I guess. Mitigate genetic decay or consciousness transfer. Either works. I do think that consciousness transfer needs to go into another organic vessel, because that I do not believe our mind will be able to adapt itself to. Being in a digital vessel, right? In a computer, as people like to say, that would not be able to do. But an organic vessel, like if we can clone bodies, just flesh, and then transfer from flesh to flesh, that would work really well. I want to be in a tree. Imagine how chill as fuck that is. Like you live for like 700 years, and then just some guy with a fucking chainsaw comes, and you're like, what the fuck? But you are your neuroplastic tissue. Would you remember without the muscle memory? Very good point. That's why we haven't done it yet. It's fucking really, really difficult. You basically gotta root out all the connecting points, not just the brain. That's why I don't like in sci-fi, they take out the brain and put it in another motherfucker. No, every fucking nerve pathway, obviously I'm simplifying it here, will need to be, taken out of the body and then reimplanted into another one. And I insist, there you go, another thing. I insist on the brain moving, and specifically my fucking brain. Because of the, if they just, I don't know, they just take a snapshot of everything you've ever been and everything you are, and then they move it to another body and this one dies. Like, no, motherfucker, you dead. Motherfucker, you dead. There's just another dude with all your memories in another body. But dude, you dead. Like, what the fuck? You're dead. Why the fuck do you care if that fucking, consciousness screenshot continues in another body? The fuck? No. I want this big, beautiful, rotted brain of mine into another system. What if I ship of Thesos my brain? Yeah. Describing so-called sleeves. Yeah, my friend, Comrade Internet, we all watched the fucking movie and read the book. That show was so bad. Altered Carbon. God fucking damn it. Talk about a great premise not done properly. Great premise done so badly. Like so utterly badly.
Your body is not who.
What's up, Gay Lennon? One of my favorite Lennons. Thank you for the 16 months. That is genuinely incredibly kind of you, my friend. We're just chilling.
You are. You shed it like a snake sheds its skin.
I just watched 2 films that are really... I'm going to play you the trailer, but I watched the movie with, the 2 dudes that open a bar in the middle of Mississippi and then vampires come. That was a pretty decent film. That was an 8. That was a decent film. Sinners, was it Sinners? Yeah, Sinners. I'm very bad with that. That's Sinners. Very decent film. 8.5, I would say. 8.5. Very, very good film. And I watched The Brutalist. What the actual fuck? Like, some of the things that happen, you don't see coming, and it's so disgusting. Brutalist would be very decent, like 7.5, but there's some very strange Zionist undertones there in consent manufacturing that are susibaka as fuck. What's your favorite movie? You would hate my favorite movie. Right? Yeah, was I the only one that was like, that's fucking weird? You described it in a way that made me feel like I've never seen it. Damn spoilers. Yeah. The KKK part in the end was so off the cuff. I loved it. But I love how in that movie, like, literally just everybody dies. Except that one kid is just traumatized for life. But hey, if you're traumatized and a musician, you end up making really good music. So that's, I guess, based. I'm glad I never played The Last of Us 2. If you did, you would want to kill yourself watching. Sorry, I am on that bandwagon. I know here on Twitch we need to have hot takes about everything, but I am on that bandwagon. Season 2 of Last of Us is dog shit. It is so bad. And by itself, it would be a chill 6 out of 10 show. But because part 1 was literally 8.5, maybe even 9 out of 10. But the second season was what the fuck? And, to be the annoying Marxist, when The Last of Us 2 came out, all the chuds were like, why is she so big and so strong? I'm talking about Abby. We want to sexualize her female characters. Why is she so big and so strong? And then we, the progressives, said because it's a zombie apocalypse, and also there are a lot of big and strong women. They exist, and they would be big and even bigger and stronger in the zombie apocalypse, which I agree with that point completely. And then they make the IRL one, and they're basically like, oh, we can't find a big, strong woman, even though they do exist, and they hire the other one. I think the lead character, the lead actress is fantastic. Because, the chuds hate it because, Ellie isn't hot or some bullshit like that. No, the lead actress is great. Just the writing is dog shit, number 1. And number 2, that's not Ellie. Ellie is a genocidal maniac in the best of ways, okay? Ellie, in the entirety of season 2, kills like 2 people. 3. 2 of them by accident. Last of Us 2's misery porn, the game included, yeah. How do you get Jack strong in a zombie apocalypse? By being in a zombie apocalypse. By fighting every day. By training every day. How do everybody would be fucking yoked. Not everybody, but yeah. It's the best film that you ever watched. My favorite film is The Death of Mr. Lazurescu. Just incredible shit. The most depressing film I've ever watched. My most entertaining film is, like, unironically, just not my brain stop. What the fuck, Hugo? You dumb fuck. What the fuck is wrong with me? Inglourious Bastards. God, I couldn't remember Inglourious. My most entertaining movie is Inglourious Bastards. And yes, it's partly because you just watch Nazis get killed a lot, but it also has, you know, my testosterone goes through the fucking window when, you know, with all the awesome scenes, especially the bar scene. Holy shit. Have you ever seen Belarusian Come and See? Of course, a few times. I've seen Come and See when I was like 16 or something, or 15. Battle of Algiers is great. "28 Days Later" broke my heart. Yeah, it's a good film. But now the new one is what? What was the new one? 28. Is it 28? It's 28 Years Later trailer. I haven't watched it yet. I don't think it's out even. Is it out? No, it's not out. Watch the pirated 480p version. You absolute mad lad. You guys are psychopaths. Not the pirating thing, of course. Good on you. But 480p, oh god.
There were so many dead. Infected and non-infected alike.
That's why our home is so precious.
Have you seen The Ethernaut? Yes, I watched the entirety. I was so positively surprised. The Ethernaut was great. The Ethernaut was great. Obviously, you know, there was a lot of like cliche parts, but it is a zombie, it is a post-apocalyptic movie show. So it's understandable, but that was great. The Ethernaut. This is awesome. This was great. Watch it. It's Argentinian.
You know, I feel he's a bit young.
He's ready, Chen.
I watch a lot of shit, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed. Like a lot of shit. I don't mean shit like low quality. Like I watch everything. That's literally my hobby. That's my whole thing. Films, TV shows, and so on.
11, 5. Once you walk onto that mainland, there's no rescues.
Moving up and down again. Don't. Look at what's in front of you. Let's go.
how haven't they completely rotted away 28 years later? That's what I always ask with zombie apocalypse films or shows that are super deep in the post-apocalypse.
The bullets in the bandoliers.
Some of this looks bad. Like, this is like just badly shot. Look, this is just like horribly shot. And this, the way he shoots, and then another cut. What the fuck? But okay. But yeah, 28 days later, 28 hours later, 28 years later, has the worst zombies. Like, you're just cooked. Motherfuckers be sprinting? Are you serious? Motherfuckers be sprinting? No. This is the trailer. That was obviously a cut that's a real cut that's going to be in the film itself, my friend.
There are many kinds of death. And some are better than others.
What the fuck?
And some are better than others.
So there's whole ass cults and shit that have developed. I mean, societies, I guess. You know what's another pet peeve of mine before we finish today's stream? Sci-fi films that are set in the far, 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 far future. I know it would be very difficult for them to organize this, but listen to me. That are set in the far, far, far future where everyone, but I mean everyone, isn't biracial. You're trying to tell me that white people that look like today's white people and black people that look like today's black people and Asian people that look like today's Asian people are going to look that way 1,000 years from now? Have you heard about sex? And the more interconnected the planet is, especially a like planetary federation where there's no borders, everybody's going to fuck. Like everybody's gonna look like Brazilians, okay? If you make a sci-fi futurist film, everybody's gotta look like more Asian Brazilians. Like more Asian Brazilians, everyone, okay? Pasty ass motherfuckers or really dark skinned motherfuckers, they ain't gonna exist. Like that's just not how genetics works, okay? Everybody's going to be so hot. Oh, yeah, absolutely. White people don't get laid. Stop being crazy. Even for white people, give them 1,000 years and eventually they'll stop being so fucking racist and have sex with other people. Canonically, Star Trek is this degree of horny. But, you know, you can't make it in the films because, you know, casting would be difficult. But yeah, everybody got to be not biracial, but triracial. Brazilian people. Beige and bald. Yeah, everybody's just beige and bald. Yeah. Probably a little bit hairless as well. Think we're going to breed out the European hairiness. Saarlanders will be the only whites because they keep it in the family. In my Unitas Mundi, all sci-fi movies will be entirely acted by Brazilians. Oh, I love you guys. Anyways, guys, this was lovely. This was a chill stream. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to go watch a movie probably, or go out. Which one should I do, chat? Should I be angry, annoying, and hangover tomorrow for stream? Or should I just chill inside? What should I do, chat? Tell me. Go out and movie. Thanks for the stream. Out. But yes, hangover. Fucking assholes. Anyways, thank you to everybody that followed. Thank you to everybody that subscribed. Thank you to everybody that gifted. Thank you to my mods. And I wish you a lovely, lovely day. Let's send you Oh, great. Let's send you over to Kairos Rev. Kairos Rev raids me all the time. Let's send you to beautiful Kairos. Send my love. Learn about a new channel. Kairos is very cool. And I will see you soon. Okay, chatters? Literally see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye-bye.